The video you are about to see presents my original model of the creation axis in expressive therapy. I claim that every creative process can be divided into 6 stages. 1. Contact. 2. Organization. 3. Improvisation. 4. Central theme. 5. Elaboration. And 6. Preservation. I wish to emphasize that these stages create a developmental line which exists independently without any connection to the therapeutic attitude or belief which the therapist holds. Some of the stages may appear or be absent as a result of the client's attitude, pathology, or personality. The understanding of their sequence and dynamics grants the therapist tremendous amounts of data. For didactic reasons, this video intends to illustrate a simple and common creation axis in art, movement, and music therapy sessions. Usually, the creation axis in a real session is more complicated and requires further deciphering. Now Dan will show us the creation axis in an art therapy session. Contact is relatively the short interval during which the client makes contact for the first time with the objects of the art in which he chooses to perform in this particular session. The first thing he picks up is the glue. Let's keep in mind and remember this, since the glue choice will appear to be very significant during the main theme stage. Did the glue choice emerge from the conscious or the unconscious level? This is quite interesting and can be checked later on during stage 6. We see that he does not really know what he wants to do. He has already picked out 2 items. This is the third one. The contact stage is usually short, and once several items are chosen, he will start the organizational stage. Organization is the interval during which the client, having chosen his artistic medium, organizes the various elements. This stage often merges with the improvisation stage. Clients organize accessories and body position in order to start working. 3 items on the table make sufficient proof for the organizational stage. What does he need there? Some basic accessories, a pencil or scissors. Have you noticed how easily Dan is throwing away his glasses? There might be here an unconscious statement declaring, "I do not need now this kind of vision. I shall see now from the within." And now Dan is starting to improvise, meaning he shifted into the third stage. Improvisation is the natural continuation of organization. This stage is characterized by an initial learning through trial and error. The materials and characteristics of the artistic medium powerfully affect clients during this stage and influence their artistic behavior. This piece of cardboard has 3 layers. The upper is thin and covers the middle one, which is wavy. Dan plays with the technical options in order to unfold the carton, improvising and creating the basic artistic components which bring about the artistic vocabulary of his work. Please give attention to an important fact. In the improvisation stage, we can identify the prototypes of the client's artistic work. We can see that one of the components in this artistic work are the cardboard curls which Dan seems to like pulling away from the carton. He shows a lot of determination and does it repetitively and enjoyably. Somehow, he does not throw away these curls. He might be collecting them, maybe shifting slowly into the main theme stage. This is one dominant prototype in Dan's work. Prototype would be defined as one characteristic component in artistic work that is completely different from another component. Several prototypes will compound the client's artistic vocabulary. And here starts the main theme. I wish to remind you of Dan's first choice, which was the glue taken out from the shelf right in the beginning of stage 1, contact. Pay attention to the tremendous amount of white glue laid down on the cardboard with clear intention. Central theme is the time during the process when the idea is crystallized and sketches which were drawn during the previous improvisation stage are arranged determinately around and for the sake of the predominant artistic notion. Dan is very invested in his work now. He has taken off his watch. He is quiet and serious. One by one, these cardboard curls, Dan's artistic prototype, which were playfully created during the improvisation stage, are brought into the work and together with the white glue combine the central theme. Dan knows exactly what he wants to do. The assignment is clear to him. He sticks the curls systematically into the glue. Having gained experience and skillful security, Dan stands up and displays signs of readiness for shifting into the fifth stage, the variation elaboration stage. In this stage, mastering of the media has already been acquired. Elaboration. Following the formation of the central theme, the client preoccupied with the development, decoration, modification, or improvement of the central theme. A significant text may be added now. Unlike the stage of improvisation, during the elaboration stage, clients have already achieved a north-receipt skill. They have better control of the medium and the work is more proficient. Some interventions are possible. I invited Dan to dialogue with his work. Dan says to his work, "You seem pretty to me with this white glue. I know it will dry out. Yet my inspiration which created you derives from a sad source. I wonder, should I leave you as pretty as you are, or should I continue working and destroy you?"
ונמשיך לעבוד.
אולי תיתן לעבודה לענות, תרים אותה קצת, תיתן לה איזה מצב אחר, תראה מה...
יותר אני רואה אותה גם באמת ככה.
איך?
ככה.
With this idea of talking to his artistic self-object and looking for an appropriate place to locate it in the studio, Dan moves into the sixth last stage of the creation axis, namely into the preservation stage. Preservation is the ending, the distancing, the perspective, and the respite. This stage is characterized by preparing to separate from the work, preserving it, putting it away, bringing it in visual memory. In this stage there is place for appraisal, criticism, and presentation. Dan is observing his work, evaluates it and criticizes it. He is encouraged to come up with free associations, expose his feelings, share them with me.
אני לא רוצה לעצור את זה. אני מרגיש את הרצון כאילו זה החיות שלי.
He is intrigued with the glue drops which fall slowly from his work. He says that he does not wish to take responsibility for the weeping of his work. Now he makes an important insight. It's just like at my parental family. I don't want to take any more responsibility there. I offered Dan a possibility to give a name to his work, a slogan. A tied-up family, a family, torn-down family. Let us return now to Dan's creation axis in art and compare it to the same stages manifested in a movement therapy session illustrated by Netta and a music therapy session illustrated by Tanya. This is our movement therapy studio.
שלום נטע. היי. טוב, תרגישי נוח ובואי תסתובבי קצת בחדר, תתמתחי.
A warm-up stage, a deliberate exercise of limbs, precedes the stage of contact.
דבר אלייך.
Now she's moved into contact, locating herself in the space. This is our music therapy studio. Tanya is about to come in and illustrate the creation axis in music therapy.
וגם קצת בקול שלך.
Contact. Choice of instruments or voice. The therapist encourages Tanya to explore, test and learn the instruments with further curiosity. Netta is already exploring the organization stage, flexing and relaxing limbs, release of muscular tension, search for accessory. She tries the pillow and moves on to this colorful umbrella-shaped device, a parachuting scarf. Organization, tuning instruments, adding instruments, attempt scale, chord, rhythm, arranging, pulling the drum closer, tuning and stretching the membrane. Improvisation stage, characterized by change of energy invested, tensing and flexing. Since Netta is a dramatic artist, we can observe quite a few movemental prototypes in this stage. Pulling with one hand, shaking from left to right, wrapping herself, rolling inside, pulling and running around, standing still covered by the fabric. Improvisation. Three-dimensional improvisation, range, power, and duration. Several drumming prototypes of rhythmical bars. Central theme. Focus on movement or significant body expression that develops gradually and repetitively and constitutes the meaning of the movement. Netta stands in the middle of the room, covered by this expressive parachute. Therapist. What do you hear inside there?
להתחבר, לא להציל, להתחבר, מה את מרגישה? תהי עם זה, אל תמהרי, כן, תהי עם זה, תהי עם זה.
Central theme. Establishing and developing one element of the improvisation that is achieved by emphasis and repetition. Change of rhythm and power. Nodding her head, closing her eyes, deepening her inner concentration, intensity of the repetitive bar show definite proof for a solid central theme. The elaboration stage. Dialogue between limbs, investigating and use of facial expression. Vocal sound. Here she is invited to dialogue with the image which appeared while dancing. We are using a mirroring technique to enable her to get some perspective and evaluate the profound experience she's been intrigued by. Elaboration, change in power of rhythm in relation to central theme, modulation, addition of text, instruments and contrasts. I do not want, I don't want, I don't. Preservation, rest, discussion, thoughts, presentation. A discussion over the meaning of the significant posture, where Netta stands up, holding the parachute scarf like a tent, a prayer scarf, talit, with hands crucified, is held during the preservation stage. Taking over her role, I enable her to judge what is the feeling inside the tent while she is there, and what is the feeling outside while she observes me. Netta reports about an amazing discrepancy. Inside, I feel potency, power. Outside, she reports, I feel suffering. Preservation, rest, discussion, video presentation, meaning.